I want to ask, is the only way to increase desire by experiencing slower, more pain?
No.
Or can we,
It's a good question. Yeah. So Christine's asking, is the only way to improve my desire to feel pain until my pain gets above the threshold that I'm willing to bear and then I have some desire? No, we could choose to develop desire, just like you can choose to develop any other quality within yourself. The problem for most of us is we don't develop desire. We only wait until the pain is greater and then we do something. But if we learnt to develop desire, learnt to live in our passions and our desires, now we can move before we feel pain. Now we can change before there's a painful situation. So I see this happening a lot in relationships, you know, how many relationships become very stagnant because one or both parties in the relationship don't want to change. Right? Now, if you're in a relationship that does want, you yourself want to change, and your partner does not wish to change, and they've been very firm with you about that, and they're telling you, no, I am definitely not changing. Now, can you see this is very, very difficult relationship now, isn't it? Because you're desiring change, your partner's desiring to be stagnant. Now, what do you do? Now, the majority of people are willing to stay in that situation for a very, very long time. Some willing to stay in that situation all of their lives, and they die in that situation. Right? Now, my suggestion is, okay, there's such a thing as a temporary separation. You might still love the person, but if the person is holding you back in any way, right, then it's important that you make a change and that you have some desire. Now, if you wait for a long period of time in that relationship, can you see how the pain will just build, and eventually you're starting now to have arguments, you're starting to have disagreements, and if you stay in the pain of that, you could even stay in the arguments until such a time as you become violent with each other even, and some do. You know, they start throwing plates and saucers at each other, and eventually some even kill each other, or one kills the other in that situation. That is an indication where the pain had to be so great before somebody actually did anything. Yeah? My suggestion is never wait for pain to be the main motivator for you to do anything. Develop desire instead, and then pain will no longer be the main thing that causes problems. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so how are we with the basics here? Everyone's fine with that?
I didn't understand. Do you mean decide to leave this partner?
Yes, well, in the situation I just gave, like if the pain of the situation is that I'm stagnant, nothing's changing in my relationship, then have a temporary separation and make a change. Have a desire to grow and make a change. Now, it doesn't mean that you leave the person permanently, because you may still love them and you may still want things for them, but they need to be making up their own mind as to what they want in terms of how they change. I need to still embrace change. I need to embrace love of myself, and so choose to leave temporarily and address all the fears that come up when I do, because for a lot of us, fears of security, safety, you know, we're worried that we're now going to have to maybe have more work. We're worried about where we're going to live. We have all these fears come up. That's why people don't leave. That's why they stay. And my suggestion is to let your desire drive you and feel all of those fears. Let yourself work through all those fears. And a lot of times when you do, you realise how much you've been demanding of the other person, how much you've been expecting them to do things for you, how much you've been expecting them to work for you or to clean up after you or to make your meals for you and so forth. And you actually learn a lot through that process, which is always good, because remember, humility, truth and love always cause you to learn. They always cause you to grow. And then down the track you may work out that you still love the person and you just wait for them to decide to change. But you can still have your life doing other things and still be happy, and you're not in pain all the time, not in personal pain all the time. Yeah. Yep. So that's my recommendation in that situation. You know? Yeah. Is there any other questions about this at all? It raises a lot of issues.